As the sun rises and sets, another day above ground, I'm blessed. Live life with no regrets, cause I ain't got the time, what would I stress? Everybody striving for the sun rays. Life to the fullest, cause we all dying one day. This grind, the only thing on my mind. Hustle where I'm probably found.
Everybody loves sunshine.
Dreams are for fools, what the fool said. No blues, clues, no cartoon, we misled. This ain't how it supposed to be. This ain't life, it what it seems. Try to keep my boat afloat.
Everybody loves the sunshine.
Drifting, I'm falling. Drifting, I'm falling. Chasing the dollar, I hear it calling. I got nobody to pretend to be. Ironically, chastised just for being me.
Everybody loves
I'm just saying, shit crazy. Second guess myself, maybe. Put away these dollars to take care of my babies. Everybody love the sunshine. Waiting for them cloudy days, wouldn't have a grind. Just remember being down is a state of mind. Diamond in the rough, they stumbled on a gold mine. Maybe down, but it happens, I just pray for better days. Dreaming vivid of them sun rays. As the sun rises and sets, another day above ground, I'm blessed. Live life with no regrets, cause I ain't got the time, what would I stress? Everybody's striving for the sun rays. Life to the fullest, cause we all dying one day. This grind, only thing on my mind. Hustle where I'm probably found.
Everybody loves sunshine.
Wake up every morning thanking God I'm blessed. Man, through all these problems, you won't see me sweat. I just pray for the best. Every day is a test. I ain't never satisfied until my whole team set. We set it off, then it's back to a check. What you expect? Trying to find my way in heaven before I lay to rest in peace. I'm focused on the things I see when I dream. I want everything that comes with the fame. I touch the sky every time I land. Let the sunshine in. I'll be damned if I let a nigga shadow my plans. Living life to the fullest, hold it down for the fam. Back to back with new songs out pushing the brand. I'm just trying to maintain the best way I can. Lord, give your boy a chance. I promise you won't regret it. Hustle is so relentless. I wrote the verse in cursive for plenty. I get it twisted. Everybody loves
as the sun
sunshine.
rises and sets, another day above ground, I'm blessed. Live life with no regrets, cause I ain't got the time, what would I stress? Everybody's striving for the sun rays. Life to the fullest, cause we all dying one day. This grind, the only thing on my mind. Hustle where I'm probably found.
Everybody loves sunshine.
And we right back at it like a crack addict. What's good, everybody? This is your boy Sincere, Janice's oldest boy and the host of the Black Owned Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and listen. Let's go ahead and get the regulars out of the way. Please like and share as you come in. Excuse me. If you're watching on YouTube, it's nothing to go ahead and smash that like button. Today we're going to be taking call-ins because I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the subject matter for the day. So the call-in scroll will remain in effect there at the bottom so you can see that. I'm always looking for guests. So if you own a Black business, you know someone who owns a Black business, you're a Black author, you're a Black creative, you have any type of inspiration or information that you could provide us, we'd love to have you on the show. Hit us up at the #1 Black-owned podcast. That is the #1 Black-owned podcast. Also, any artists, if you'd like to submit some music, radio friendly, so that I can play for at the beginning of my of the intro, we like to have it, man. So that's what we got going on today. But one thing that we got going on today is we're gonna have a special co-host with me today. Somebody who I go back plenty of years with. If you're from Florida and you know about the Poison Clan, we go back that far. You hear me? So before then, Bill. So everybody, just give me some, show some love, if you will, in my Steve Harvey voice from my main man, Rocky. What's going on, Rock?
What's happening, baby?
What's cracking, Captain?
Man, you know, we go back like them seats in the Buick that I used to have back in the 90s. As soon as you sit in it, it just go all the way to the back seat.
All the way to the back seat. Yeah. Like
sure.
them seats. You seen that new Maybach, that utility Maybach, Joe?
Yeah, no, that's how we don't shop at the same place.
Hey,
bro.
look,
We don't.
the seats look like a waffle cone.
Yeah.
And they lay all the way back. We go back like that, man. But hey, man, what's happening, bro? What's happening with you?
Man, just a pleasure to be here, man. Anything I can do to support my brother, you know, I'm always there, always down for the cause, man. And looking forward to getting into these topics, man. You know,
All right, well,
I'm
let's
intrigued.
jump right into it, man. Let's jump right into it. First thing we're gonna talk about, man, is these ESPN layoffs. Whole lot of people looking for work today, man.
Yeah, some of them should. Some of them were rightfully ousted. You know, Steve Van Gundy.
Oh yeah,
out of here. Trash.
We're not gonna
he
miss
needed
that.
to go.
We're not gonna miss Van Gundy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We got some key people though. Jalen Rose, big name. Keyshawn. What's my man name from the Bulls? Used to play for the Bulls.
JJ.
Yeah, JJ.
Was it JJ? Was it JJ?
No, not Redick. Black boy. He messed his knee up on the bike.
You know, how about this? How about I just look at the list of folks that got laid off? You know, instead of me trying to, you know.
Hey, but my thing was this: so you already got a kind of a little breadcrumb trail with Shannon Sharp having left, but he left under his own will, and he had something already kind of in the making, and standing by for him so that he can capitalize off of the fame and the notoriety that he gained while he was on Skip and Shannon in the morning.
Yeah. No, he you know, he was Gucci. You know, that Club Shay Shay is everything.
That alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
He set up good with just that right there.
Man, here I'm looking at the list of 15 names. Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh.
I said Steve, but Jeff is the brother that needs to be gone. Jalen Rose. The surprising on here, Max Kellerman.
Yeah, that got me a little bit. I was a little surprised to see that. I was a little surprised to see that because he covers so many things. He's not just a one sport guy.
Yeah. Because he started off in boxing, right?
Yeah, he did a lot in boxing. Of course, you know, he was. I think he was the first that sat across from Skip. He was from Stephen A. Him and Stephen A. had the show. You know, they was, you know, looking good for a long time. It just, the thing is, like, why though? Like, I never got the why of the whole situation.
Bro, some of these dudes, they got some hefty salaries, man. But you keep going down this list.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson. He won't be asking nobody to give him the damn ball no more.
Yeah, go on.
Todd McShay, Matt Hasselbeck. Yeah.
A whole like thing for the board, the football board, which is coming up.
Yes.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just going to be Mel Kiper. Now, you used to have the two to kind of bounce off one another.
Yeah.
Now you don't have that. So I guess maybe just Mel's going to be taking that for himself.
Yeah. Matt Hasselbeck, whatever. Yeah. They come a dime a dozen.
Yeah. You can get them. You can get them on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Ashley Brewer, no idea who that is.
I don't even know who that is. Yeah.
Susie Colbert.
You know
Susie
what?
Colbert is a well-known name.
Very well known, but she's also she's long in the tooth, if you will. Yeah, she's been there for a while. You know, I could see. You know what I mean? You know, when you start relating to the audience or whatever, you know, maybe she might be past her time. So I can understand that.
Yeah,
I can understand that. But yeah, man, there's some names on there that I kind of you know what I'm saying, surprised me a little bit.
Yeah. The last couple ones, Steve Young is another surprising one. But he seems a bit flighty.
Yeah,
like he's taken a couple concussions.
Yeah. And there's nothing about really what he's more of a he's not like a main event guy.
He's a motivational speaker.
Yeah, good. Yeah, when I seen his name, I was like, I forgot he was on there, to tell you the truth. So you just said, yeah, that's how important he was. So anyway.
Jason Lee, Jason Fitz, or June Lee, Jordan Cornette. Again, never heard of any of you.
Yeah.
LaFonso Ellis. That was the baller, right? The b-ball player.
He was the baller. But he did a lot of NASCAR stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he did some NBA, and he also did some NASCAR stuff. I remember seeing.
And then the last one, Nick Friedel. That you probably know his face.
Probably.
The name isn't exactly.
Name definitely doesn't ring a bell. Definitely doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, never mind. I just Googled him. No idea
No,
who that
I
is.
would know who he is. Hey,
Yeah.
so you know what else happened this week? Juneteenth. Juneteenth happened just last week.
Just recently.
Just last week we was woke, but guess what's coming?
Yeah.
Good old July 4th. Can't wait to scroll my socials on Tuesday to see how black people going to sell out and celebrate the independence of a country who at the time of the independence kept us as slaves, huh? Who just took away affirmative action. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Who took away the right for a woman to choose what she can and can't do with her body. Good old America. All while black people still suffer from identity crisis and can't walk in the park, swim in the pool, sleep in your car, sell a loose cigarette, walk through your neighborhood, go for a run, or even eat ice cream in your own apartment. Would have got getting killed by the police. But hey, I guess the barbecue pork ribs to make up for it. You shouldn't even be eating those if we telling the truth. Oh well. Happy Independence Day to you guys. Yeah. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, so I guess breaking news. You don't know by now, you must live under a rock, but you don't actually care to hear, but the affirmative action appeal has been repealed as well. So we won't have that. I guess there is a lot of viewpoints that some have concerning the repeal of affirmative action, especially when I could tell you at least 2 of those Supreme Court justices probably benefited from affirmative action.
That's to me, I think that's what's mind-boggling, right? Clarence Thomas, you came on board after Thurgood Marshall, right? Appointed by I think Bush won. But you got into Yale Law School, and self-proclaimed, didn't have the financial means, to go to school, right? Went to like Holy Cross, a smaller school in Worcester, Mass, or something. Like, you were a direct beneficiary of this policy, right? And now you turn around and you basically poo-poo on everybody who's coming behind you.
Simply amazing.
Like,
simply amazing.
That's what's gut-wrenching. Right?
It is. And I want to be clear when I say that affirmative action has been appealed. It's been appealed as far as college applications are concerned.
Right.
Not across the board. Not with hiring and things like that are concerned, but where college applications are concerned. And again, it's amazing, and to see that 2 people who benefited from that sit on the Supreme Court as we speak, and I would have allowed that to actually go through. When there are still what do we call those legacy candidates?
Yes.
Who some of them are not qualified.
Yeah.
Some of them are not high achieving students. But guess what? I'm going to get to go to USC because my father went.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be able to go to UCLA, to Harvard, to Yale, or what have you, because one of my parents went. So I'm a legacy, and I got a 2.3 high school average.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm in remedial now.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to take that math that doesn't count for the first year. I'm gonna have to take. But I'm in Harvard.
Yeah.
Hey,
my parents paid for me to go to mathnasium through the summer.
I'm still going to Kumon in my senior year of high school.
Right,
I mean, what's really going on?
Yeah, I think unfortunately that speaks to the duplistic approach that we take to a lot of this, right?
To a lot of things.
We're so quick to say, oh no, it needs to be equitable, right? And I'm all for that, right? But how can you take away this part of it and completely neglect, or don't even talk about, like you're saying, like the legacy piece of it.
It never even brings up.
So I think that's what frustrates people, right? That's what gets under our skin. Like, what the hell? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we really doing?
I think what really got me is we forget the reason why there was an affirmative action in the first place.
Right.
So you can't get me to believe that we're so far progressed forward from that place that we no longer need it. That's what the issue is that I have. Affirmative action is still needed because we are not in a place that is progressive enough to where we believe everything would be equitable across the board, that a person would be advanced or accepted based solely on merit and merit alone.
Yeah.
We just don't live in that type. That's not the United States that we live in. We hope for that type of United States, but that's not where we currently are. And I think that's what we forgot.
I think anytime that you can look through the news and see that there's a first, there's a problem, right? If you see still. Mm-hmm. Oh, the first black fill in the blank.
Right.
Right. Anytime you still see that in 2023.
Right.
And here's the first black so and so. Like, why?
Just look in my beloved Duval County, the first female mayor just elected.
Right. First female mayor.
Huh?
Right. First female mayor, and Jacksonville's been here for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, we still, there's still a lot of firsts going on, and there probably still are some firsts waiting to be had.
Yeah.
You know, if we're being absolutely real about it, if we're being absolutely, 100% truthful, about the situation. But I want to get off that and quickly just go into something that I wasn't even really going to talk about it, but it disturbed me so much that I figured, you know what, I'll give my 2 cents. You know what I mean? And if you haven't heard, of course, the Essence Festival is going on right now down in New Orleans. Always great, to have that yearly, to have that good economic boost given, down there in New Orleans to celebrate Black culture and excellence is what that represents. But the Essence Festival sent a cease and desist letter to a small business in the area. That's a mom and pop Black-owned bookstore that was celebrating Black female authors on one of the days that Essence Fest was going to be in town, and they said that was somehow encroaching on what the Essence Festival was trying to do, and they actually had the planned meet and greet for those authors canceled the day of. So I mean, this is the Essence Festival taking food and money out of a small business, Black-owned business at that. That's just trying to, maybe benefit from the fact that, hey, there's an increase in people in the area this week, but surely you're not going to be taking up a large majority or any type of significant presence from those who were there to see the Essence Fest.
Yeah,
like they're gonna all pause and stop to go see.
They want it all.
Yeah,
they want it all. They want it all. Give me that too.
Yeah,
give me that too. I mean, like they are playing Monopoly with like, and they're the banker, right? They got some bills stuffed underneath the board, some in the back pocket,
right?
And the minute you peek your head up and you want to buy something, let me get that from you.
Let me get that off. Let me get that off right quick. Shame on you, Essence Fest.
Like, is the Essence Festival? Is that still? Is it still about Black folks? I mean, is it still catered to Black folks? I mean, is that what it's about? It's about Essence, right?
That's what I think. That's about us.
So
that's about us. But I mean, I guess only a selected few of us. Only the us that's here to give us money.
Right.
Any of the us that's here that's not here to give us money, we got to stop that.
Yeah. You didn't put in on this.
Yeah. It's not essence, it's essence. Yeah, you're not here to give us money. we gonna need to stop that. You're gonna go down here and pay $15 for a book when you could be paying $15 for a drink at Essence Fest? I can't have it. I need all that. I need all that. Yeah. Shame on you, Essence Festival. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed of yourself. That's definitely not the way to celebrate Black culture and excellence as you are so well known for on a yearly basis down there in good old Louisiana. But hey, who am I?
Disappointing.
Who am I?
Very disappointing.
Speaking of very disappointed,
yeah.
Did you see the BET Awards? Oh,
I did not. I would not subject myself to.
Oh my God. Oh man, Jesus be offense.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You know what? You know what, man? You know we were well of age when the first BET Award started. The first BET Award was in 2001.
Did you know long ago. Not very long.
Not very long ago at all. As a matter of fact, the BET Awards then was kind of like the Met Gala for Black people. For like Black actors and Black musicians. It was that. You know, that was the thing. You got dressed up. You put your best on.
Yeah. Now it's the hoodies.
Now it's
what Steve Harvey tried to do. It's the hoodies.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the hoodies is probably a step above what the BET Awards is right now. It was that bad. I seen a girl. First of all, I have to admit, I don't know who half of these people are anymore.
None.
I don't even know who half these people. If they have 20 guests, I probably knew 6, excluding Busta Rhymes. Of course, I know who Busta Rhymes is, and shout out to Busta. You know what I'm saying? Well deserved Lifetime Achievement Award, definitely, and that was certainly the highlight of the BET Award show. But the foolishness that was allowed. Now, here's the thing. Next year, this is all going to be in Tyler Perry's hands. And I want to know what those awards will look like. Let me take you back, if I can, briefly.
Please.
When I was a young buck, BET had what was known as Teen Summit. You remember Teen Summit?
I do remember
Teen Summit showed Black students excelling academically. I used to look up to these people like, man, look at these people. I'm out here getting suspended 3 and 7 days a week.
Wearing 2 pair of pants because I know I'm gonna get a paddle.
Foolishness I'm doing in class.
Right.
And look at these bright lights that I have to kind of try to model myself after. You know what I'm saying? The BET nightly news. It was real news.
Yeah.
From a Black perspective. Like, we would really take the real news that was happening, but we would say, no, but this is what we need to be thinking about when it comes to.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Even when they just played the music videos, what was the brother, the green eye? Was it Donnie Simpson?
Donnie Simpson,
you know, I always remember the way he closed his show, right? Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be among the stars.
You'll be among the stars. You see that?
Right? Very positive.
Very inspirational.
Now, we got folks showing up to the BET Awards in glad bags. I mean,
the BET Awards didn't even have a host. Did you notice that?
I did not. I didn't see it.
They didn't even have a host. They just had people come out and be like, you know, Sugarfoot, that's what's coming up next.
Hey, you up next.
Just go out there when you hear the music. Just go ahead out there because
it's like showing up to the basketball court and just putting your name on the board. Hey,
I got next. That's how they was at the BET Awards. They was like, yo, I got next. You know what I'm saying? I'm going up there next. It was horrible. It was horrible. Now I know, across the board, it probably wasn't as yes, it was. It was bad as I'm making it seem, but there was still though. I seen my man Fat Joe. I seen Fat Joe show up at award shows, red carpet events, or whatever. Joe used to be clean. That boy looked like he was about to go to HEB right quick.
Oh, really?
That boy dressed like he's about to go to HEB real fast, come right back to the house, and finish chilling out till he had to go to work the next day. Wasn't even really that serious, you know what I'm saying, too. I seen some girl. First of all, I want to say this is how ignorant I am. I didn't know that Pound Town was a real song. I thought it was a spoof.
Okay.
I thought that was a spoof. That's a real song by a person who considers themselves a real artist. Yes, and she came looking like, I don't know what she was. She looked crazy. Yeah, she looked like she sleep on an air mattress. She looked like
I'm scared to Google it. I want to Google Pound Town, but I'm afraid my browser
you never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no funny, no offensive noises to be. Hey, hit mute if you're gonna if you're gonna Google Pound Town. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it is horrible, man. I couldn't believe that this lady showed up like that, and she and her outfit was you can't really consider it an outfit because it just looked like something she got from Ross.
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, it's that bad. That's exactly. Okay. Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't
it? Yeah. She definitely. She definitely went to. Yeah. She definitely went to the flea market and got this outfit.
she definitely went to the flea market and got that.
That is directly from the Nigerians. Yes, they they have their hands all over this.
That was horrible, man. Horrible. It is just the list goes on. But anyway, I'm very disappointed in the BET Awards.
I will say I didn't watch it, but I did watch in its entirety Busta Rhymes' acceptance speech.
What you think about it?
I thought it was very telling. A couple things that I took away from that. One, Black men need to show that side, right? We need, he said, I'm gonna wear it on my sleeve, which I thought was refreshing because we have such a bravado, machismo image that we keep up, and for him to put himself out there like that, I thought was commendable. So I think he did a great job just in that. But then he also talked about being a bridge, right? And having had someone extend him the olive branch when he was a young artist, the old head that wrapped their arms around him and brought him along. And I think that's what's missing. We talked about it before the show.
Right.
I think that's what's missing in hip hop, right? You don't have a lot of the Busta Rhymes, our age group, that 40 to 50 that are reaching back to the younger kids and kind of guiding them, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was important, not just from a musical standpoint, but just in general, right?
Right.
When we talk about our community, we are at that point now where we have to be the bridge to the younger folk because we've been around long enough to see what our parents went through and did, did that whole thing. And we're still young enough and accessible enough, and still close enough that we can start to mentor. And so I thought his speech was really well done. And it was from the heart. You could tell it wasn't designed. So man, kudos, big ups to Busta Rhymes.
Big ups to Busta Rhymes, man. And just you said about the about extending your hand and putting your arm around the younger artist, I think that's a microcosm to what it is that we're going to speak about when we talk about the Black community, because we need to be able to do that as well. There's a lot of things in music, especially our music. I love Mos Def. He's one of my favorite artists, and he had a song that said, "If you ever want to know how we doing as a people, then listen to hip hop. That'll tell you how we doing as a people." And unfortunately, that might be the case. So
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, not when we talking about Pound Town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
But anyway, let's move on and get to our first guest of the day. He has a fitness, not a fitness apparel business. He has a fitness business called Fit Gorilla. He is the CEO. His name is Ty. We're gonna bring him on. Ty, what's going on, good sir?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. How you?
I'm doing blessed. I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. All right. So, tell us a little bit about Fit Gorilla, if you will.
Yeah. So, Fit Gorilla started in 2019, based out of Philadelphia. Is basically when I was born and raised from.
Right.
So basically, I was in a rough patch of my life, and fitness was like my outlet. Other than also did basketball too, but fitness was like really my outlet to just be myself and just like let out everything. So I try to implement fitness and also helping people at the same time. So I said, at time, come out with a fitness brand. I said, all right, cool. And then ever since then, I've just been going with the flow with it, like just creating different ways to grow and also implement with helping people and also fitness. And then the mission statement came with me just combining personal training and also helping people as that. And then basically what I did, I just kind of created Fit Gorilla. And then like Fit Gorillas is basically the backstory of that. Everybody has a animal inside of them.
Okay.
But they don't know how to bring out that next level. So sometimes people need to be yelled at. Sometimes even smacked in the face, stuff like that. Just to bring out that it in them. And I said, all right, cool. I feel as though this is like a good name to have, and everything else. And then ever since then, I've been focusing on the clothing side because I know that the clothing side was more appealing to everybody because you don't really see too many big brands who have black-owned business who have a fitness brand. You don't really see commercials like that.
Right.
So I said, let me create this big business by being black.
So you just basically carved out a space for yourself then.
Right, pretty much. And like you see all these other gyms, you got Planet Fitness, you got LA Fitness, you got all these other gyms who really don't care about the people. They just care about themselves. Of course, I told myself, yes, I had to worry about myself just to elevate myself, but I'm all for the people.
Right.
Like any way that I can help them on their journey to fitness, being active, losing weight, gaining muscle, even mindset. I want to be that fitness brand. I just don't want to be that fitness brand to just, oh yeah, you know what? You're going to pay $50 a month for your membership and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We want people to be more than just a number.
You're going to get the whole package where
Did we lose you?
Yeah, you're going to get everything. No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You're going to get everything that other gyms don't offer. So basically, and also information. Everybody don't like every gym don't offer you information about
that's
fitness.
The key right there.
So where to begin?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So basically, why not be better? Like, why not be better than every other gym? Like, why not be top tier than every other gym? Just care about money part. Yes, I want to be one of the top fitness brands inside the world because it's basically of what I'm offering, and also I'm offering it to the people.
All right, so let me see some of what you got there as far as your apparel.
All right, so we got the socks right here. This is from our summer collection that we're still promoting. If anybody want to go shop with us, our website is www.fitgorillallc.com. We have our summer collections. I mean, men or women can wear our socks. We have our black shirts, as you can see right here. And then on the back of the shirt, we have our motivated shirt.
Okay.
I mean, motivated on the back. But this one right here, most people get confused about. So this is the front. This is our member-only collection. So basically, if you are a member of Fit Gorilla, you are like a lifetime member of it. Like, doesn't matter where else you go, you're always going to be part of the family, no matter what.
No doubt.
But the quote on the back of it: rich people think now, poor people think later. Now, just because the world that we live in, everybody think, oh, well, I'm not poor, I'm blah, blah, blah. No, the quote means, perfect example. If you woke up one morning and you said, all right, you know what, I want to start a podcast. But you keep on saying, all right, you know what, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. No, rich people, they do it right then and there. It doesn't matter, like, and it doesn't matter how far it goes. You keep on going at it. Keep on going. Keep on going. Right. So basically, we have our summer collection for men and women, shirts, shorts, everything, the whole nine for your summer collection. I mean, for your summer wear, you go to the gym, work out, box, play basketball, all that stuff.
So what about if I want to actually like have you as a fitness coach? What I need to do?
So basically, if you want to do a virtual personal training with me, you just contact me through my Instagram. Our Instagram is Fickorilla LLC, and we can go over details. The first thing how I do my service, I'll find out more about you. I will not care about the fitness part until I feel as though I find out like that me and you are connecting on a good level. I feel as though, as a customer service business, you have to connect with the customer.
No doubt. Where are you based out of?
I'm based out of Elkton, Maryland. It's in the tri-state area with Delaware, Philly, and Jersey.
Okay. Do I need to be in that tri-state area to use your services?
Nope. I can do a virtual. We can do a virtual personal training, and then I would take it. Day by day with you. Whenever you are ready to actually really start the fitness part, that's when we can start. There's no rush. There's no rush at all to get started. If you want to just take it slow, just so that you can know more about me, my business, and also how I got started, we can do that. I don't want to jump right into it because it's just basically I want to know more about you. I want to know how I can help you, and also help me too. So it's just basically a win-win conversation.
All right, I like it, man. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time. Let the people know how they can reach you on your socials.
Yeah, so our Instagram is Fickorilla LLC. Our Facebook is Fickorilla. Our TikTok is Fickorilla. Website is www.fickorillallc.com. If you want to reach me through email, it's fickorilla2019@mail.com. And guys, don't forget, we just dropped our summer collection. I'm praying that I do so on everything. So going into the end of August, I'll have a lot of momentum.
I bet that. So if you looking for somebody to work out or work you out, or you looking for some workout, some workout gear, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hit Todd up, CEO.
Man, look, CEO of Fickorilla. I'm on the website now trying to figure out how I can get in because you mentioned something about two animals. Got these animals inside, and I got this. I used to have a silverback body, but now I got this aardvark that I've been trying to get rid of. Whatever I can do to eliminate this midsection, I got to get with you, brother.
We all about it. For sure. Maybe I needed to get in there and activate my spirit animal as well. You hear me?
What? Man, look, right now my spirit animal is a Siberian Husky.
All right, again, man, this CEO Todd, Fickorilla LLC is his company. Y'all give him a hoot on his website or the socials, man. Again, Todd, thank you for coming, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Man, yeah, you talking about some animals, and I'm like, what kind of animal is I got up under this shirt?
Get your spirit animal together out this mug.
Man,
look, you need to get over to that. You know,
it is not.
Man,
it is not good.
Time. What's going on, good brother? What's going on, good brother, man? We got to link up, man. We got to link up, brother. Make sure you hit me up, man. Whenever you get a chance, man. But appreciate you tuning in for a couple minutes or what have you. But we're about to move forward and get into this conversation. Again, this is going to more than likely be a multi-part series that's going to be talking about the Black community. We're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Black family. Eventually, we're going to talk about the Black male and his position in the community. We're going to talk about Black love. Where is that at? Does it still exist? We're going to get into some other real deep topics when it comes to this community. But today we're going to talk about the Black family, the black family. Seems as if the black family's been under attack ever since we were brought over here as property in the beginning in the 1400s. And since then, there's definitely been some concentrated tactics used to break up the black family. At this point, I don't know if all of the credit could be given to just the tactics that have been used, but if we ourselves are actually participating in destroying our own family structure. This was brought about because last week my sincere thought of the week was about the mother up in Chicago who had the confrontation with the brother, and he struck the lady. There was no action taken by any male who was present, except for the young son, who did what he's supposed to do, which is to protect your mom at all costs. Later, they were both, they both had their charges dropped and were able to walk away free. I did have one individual who was very vocal in my comment section, and I invited him to come on to the show today. So we're going to have him up here, and he's going to join in on the conversation. His name is B. Thompson. B. Thompson, please tell me your audio is working.
I hope it is. Can you hear me?
There
okay?
it is. My man. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? When it matters most. You hear me? That's all that matters. You know what I'm talking about? When it matters most. All right. So B, we had a good, back and forth. I don't never take anything personal. I always want to hear what people have to think about whatever, the situation is, because as long as we thinking, then I think we doing what we should be doing, which is thinking and conversing about a conversation. But what were your thoughts concerning that incident that happened up in Chicago?
I think maybe I should start with just a very short but kind of embarrassing story. I was about 9 years old before I realized that females went to the restroom. And the reason for that is because throughout the course of the majority of my life, you always hear a lot of negativity about males, but you really don't hear a lot of negativity about the females in our community. Mm-hmm. So I always thought, women were angels, Right. And when the situation happened with the unfortunate Mrs. Hood, and everyone is making comments about how the men-in-law were cowards and how they should have stood up and helped her. The first thing I thought was about that particular instant in my life. And I realized that if you go on social media in particularly, there is not a lot of, for lack of a better word, I'm not trying to sound selfish, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of love for Black men. Mm-hmm. And it just seems to me that the people who are expecting us for us to love them and protecting us are not really showing us any love. Mm. And it's difficult to want to protect someone who seems to constantly show you a level of hatred. I mean, you can't even jump on social media without seeing some video of some woman talking about how men are stupid, how we're worthless, how we're irrelevant. Oh, I'm going to abort Black men. Then there's Cynthia G and all her followers. And then when they're constantly bombarded with negativity pushed out about Black men. And the moment anybody says anything negative about a Black woman, then everybody is up in arms. Like there was that one video clip about some idiot talking about women needed to be unalived or something like that. And you saw all kinds of women just rah, rah, how dare he say this? Right. That bastard, But when you see negative things about that said about men all the time, particularly from our own women, and there's not a lot of pushback. So, I wasn't trying to be, I didn't want to seem like I was being heartless about it or that I didn't care. But the fact of the matter is we have a group of people who are basically saying, we don't care for you, but we want you to care for us. And that was my issue.
Rock, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. It's interesting. So I feel where you're coming from, right? in terms of you're bombarded on a daily basis, like you said, from not just a group of people, but our people, right? Our women who say repeatedly, this guy isn't a high value man. This guy isn't worth this. He isn't that. Baby daddy talk. You know it, right? All the podcast stuff, right? All the clickbait stuff. And then they're the same folks that want us to protect them, right? Don't let this guy do these things to me because you're supposed to be the king and you're supposed to be protected. So I understand in that regard. However, like where is the line, right? I think as a man, I have and I'm biased. I have 3 daughters, right? So if I see any woman, regardless of whether or not I know her, if she's my sister, right? I feel a certain way when she's disrespected. That's just me and that's how I feel. So I do think for us to stand by and watch, I don't think we're from a community, we're not in a space where we can stand by and do nothing. I think that's my issue. I think there are communities that are capable of that and can look at it in a way that is, not marginalized, but they can look at it and say, you know what, it's just, if I'm a white guy and some white female is getting accosted or getting whatever, I could probably be like, what's going on with her? I don't think we're in a position to do that.
Right.
I think we have to take the approach that we have to protect us because the cavalry isn't coming to protect us. There's nobody else coming to protect us. And I think that's where we could easily get into trouble. And if we start a division like we have already, but if we don't close that division between ourselves, then I think we're going to find ourselves in a really, really bad spot.
Right. And to kind of add a little bit to what you were saying, I strongly believe that it is impossible for you to love anyone else unless you first love yourself, right?
Sure.
So imagine if you are a young man, you're getting on social media for the first time, and the impression that you get from your own people, not only by your surroundings, the music, the people of other races, but the impression that you get of yourself is that you're worthless, is that you're useless, is that you're not important. Your sense of self-worth, not only for yourself, but people who look like you, is really not all that great. So, what I'm saying is that if you have a sort of self-hatred for yourself, it's difficult for you to stand up for other people. Right. Yeah. And that's what a lot of them seeing, because I'm just thinking about like my son. He just turned 18. He just graduated from high school. And he sees this on social media all the time. I was talking about your comments. He was the one I asked about, if he had been standing there with that woman, and he had saw what had gone on, would he had jumped in? And my son, he's kind of blunt. His first answer was, why should I stand up for someone who hates me? Right. That's the impression that a lot of young men get from our women, or whether it's true or not. I think a lot of women just speak out of emotion and out of anger. I don't think they really hate us. It's just
exactly. Let me interject here because I first want to somewhat comment on what you said initially, and that is about it's hard to feel a certain way about someone who doesn't feel a way about you, or how it is difficult to want to protect somebody who doesn't care, about you. And the social media, and these ladies get on social media and bash men. They don't need men. They want to unalive men and so forth and so on. Whereas it's the polar opposite when it comes to women, that everyone will rush to a woman's defense. Do you know why that is? Why that is? It's because there is a responsibility that comes with the role of leadership. the black man is a leader, right? And unfortunately, we forget that, right? So we think that we should be thanked for doing what we do. That, we should have a round of applause for doing the things that we do. It doesn't happen like that, right? Because if a person is in a position of leadership, they are expected to lead. So there's the reason why everybody does what's natural, and what's natural is to go to a woman's defense. What's natural is for a woman to be emotional. What is also natural is for us to teach our sons and daughters how to be men, how to be women, how to be husbands, and how to be wives. I was fortunate enough to have been in the United States Navy, me and my man Rock. So we've traveled extensively, and I've had the opportunity to see how other ethnicities interact when it comes to family, when it comes to just the norms of society. And most of those successful societies are we societies. Black people are me societies. So when everything that we do is based on us as individuals, whether it is pain or pleasure, we want to be taken care of individually instead of talking about or discussing how to take care of us as a whole. That's where one issue comes in at. The second one is, again, like I said, we don't teach our sons. Well, I know I have, and I've told my son, being a dad is a great job, but it's thankless. It's not going to. That's why Mother's Day is the #1 celebrated holiday, and Father's Day is like 50th.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we celebrate women, and women are important. Trust me. And I was raised by a single woman, but even my single mother let me know that all women are not angels as you described them earlier. And they let me know that there is some guarding that I'm going to have to do, and a place that I'm going to have to be in, and understand that there is structure when it comes to your interaction with a woman, and especially in the institution of marriage, right? So that I can understand, and hopefully you know what I'm saying, corrected your son to say that's just what's on TV. Or that's just what's on social media. Nothing is 100% across the board. Every black woman doesn't feel that way. Every black man doesn't feel that way, one way or the other. Every black man don't feel like we need to be running to a black woman's side, and every black man doesn't feel like we should not be running to her side. I am of the position of where there should be some intervention of seeing a woman to be physically abused. Now, a man and a woman arguing, I might stop and take a pause to see what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But if I see it's not really going anywhere, it's not going to get a physical, I'm going to mind my business. You know what I mean? But if I believe or it is physical, I've got to at least try to separate them. I'm not trying to beat the man up or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get him to separate. Say, hey man, look, this ain't what we should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't the move right here.
Can I ask you a question about the structure of the Black community in comparison to other minorities really quick?
Sure.
So I know there's a name for it. When I was in school, I studied. I can't think of what it is now. But if you go into other minorities' households, for example, if you go into a Hispanic house, more than likely there's somebody there who speaks Spanish. Sometimes they have grandparents who only speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. You go into an Asian's house, they may have Asian pictures or architecture or food in their house. However, Black Americans are different. If you go into a Black person's house, you see we're eating hamburgers or eating hot dogs. We dress pretty much like, Caucasian people. It's almost like our race is the only one that doesn't have its own identity. You go into any other minority house, you see things from their culture. You don't see that from us. Right. Do you think that's possibly part of a problem, that we've been infiltrated or that we've been saturated through the culture that at one time had us captive? Do you think that could be part of the problem?
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Your great-great-grandfather, where was he from?
I don't know exactly, but talking to my grandfather, he was a slave.
My point of that is, like, we don't know for the most part, right? If you go into someone else's house, you know, minority or not, they probably have a good idea. Oh, we're of Irish descent. We're of Scottish descent.
Right.
The problem is we think our history kind of starts at slavery, and that's kind of where we base. That's our baseline.
Right.
But it isn't, right? So everything that we do, wear, say, clothing, you know, it is very European, right? But where's the change, right? Where you're saying, like, you're right. My neighbor is Nigerian, right? If I go next door, he's probably got his fufu and some okra soup and whatever else, you know.
Right.
He wears, you know, his Muslim garb, him and his wife, like you know, they ain't regular black.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So here are the cards that we're dealt, right? We were born African Americans, or however you want it, black or whatever. What do we do now, right? We know that that's an issue, that we don't know our culture. We don't embrace our culture. And even if we embraced it, we don't know where to start. So what do we do now, I think, is the question, right? Because it's obvious. It's obvious that there is an issue. But what's the fix, right? I had an uncle used to tell me all the time, I know the problem. What's the solution?
Right.
Right. We can talk about all these different problems, all these different reasons. Well, this happened and this happened. Okay. Now what?
Exactly.
We've established that. Now what? And I think that's where collectively where we missed the boat, right?
Where do you think collectively we could even come to a come together? Because like you guys were talking about earlier, it's all about individualism. We're not together. Like, I'm lucky the three of us can agree on something, but usually you get 2-3 people in a room, you can't even get them to agree on anything. So how are we supposed to, as a culture, even come together? Is if I speak with a woman, a black woman, and I say something that to me seems simple, she's up in arms about it, and she feels strongly about it, and I feel strongly about it. How is it even possible for us to come together and even unify when we're all so different? Because I know when I was growing up, I'm not super religious, but my father was a preacher. I grew up down south where most black people were religious. But now I live here in California where, you know, you got black people talking about, oh, I'm atheist. I'm some religion that you've never even heard of. It's like we're not a monolith, but we are definitely not all on the same page. So how do we even come together to build things, make things better when we all have these different ideas and different ideologies and everything like that?
Again,
for me, it's acceptance.
We got to get back. We have to get to the we of the situation, right? As I was, stated earlier, I know how to save the world. I know how to save the black community. I can give you an answer right now. The family. But we have to agree on how we're going to raise our family, right? That's why it's so important for things like church. It's so important for things like the Boys and Girls Club. It's so important for things like Black Men Build. It's because you need to have a group that agree on the same ideologies, and then we raise our children accordingly, right? Because where we are missing the ball is we don't want that anymore. We don't want to include others. We are of the age to where if I lived on the street and I was outside cutting the food, Miss Mary, who lived down the street, could tell me to take my behind back in the house, call my mama from the landline, and say, this boy out here cutting the food, and I could wind up getting my tail beat 2 or 3 times.
Right. Facts.
Right. So we have to agree on what it is going forward, how we are going to change the generation. Yeah. But we focus on the things that we don't agree on. We focus on the fact that you are Protestant and I'm Baptist, or that you a Democrat and I'm not. I'm a Republican, or I'm independent, or I'm woke and you not. You know, we all we focus on is the thing that separates us. You know how a marriage works? I've been married for what's today? I've been married for 19 years.
Oh wow!
And me and my wife been together for 23. You know how that works? Because you got it works like this. You got to focus on why you married this person.
Acceptance.
You can't worry. You can't worry about the negatives. You can't say, "Oh, if you spent all your time worrying about what was wrong with your wife, you leave her in a heartbeat." You have to focus your mind on the things that makes her wonderful, the things that make her great, the things that make her different than any other woman that you've ever met. That's how the Black community has to look at themselves. We have to look at the things and agree on the things that make us great, because we control everything. In a lot of ways, the world won't even move unless we say so, and how we say so. Right. We have to be open-minded to the differences of belief systems in order to come to exactly.
That's my point, man. When I say acceptance, brother, to answer your question, it's not going to answer your question, but here's my thoughts on it, right? How do we get to that point? Accepting people where they are for who they are and moving forward, right? I had this conversation with a friend of mine, and he is a friend, Republican, whatever, has his own conservative views. Cool, whatever. But here's the conversation. If you had a debilitating disease or something happening in your life, or better yet, in your child's life, and this doctor was the one who could save your child's life, but he was a Republican or he was a Democrat and you didn't agree, you would accept the fact that he's able to do what is necessary to get the job done, and look past your individual beliefs. So when I see the sister in here commenting about, acceptance, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So Sincere hit it right on the head, man. You focus on the things that you have in common, and accept the fact that there's going to be some things that you're not going to agree on, but that's okay. That's okay. Right? Yeah. That's okay. We Sincere, we both served, in the United States Navy, who probably didn't care much about us all the time. At all. Right? But we did it for the greater good, right? For our families and for long-term benefits and things like that. And we were placed in harm's way more than once. And you looked around the group, and there were not just Black guys, there were white guys, there were not just Republicans or Democrats, there were Muslims and Christians, and you learn to deal with, I don't want to say deal with because that sounds like you're settling it. You learn to accept everyone's background and everyone's different, and you move forward for the mission, right? So if the mission is we need as a people collectively to agree and move forward and grow and change. If that's the mission, then let's focus on the mission, right? Keep the main thing the main thing.
I agree with you 100%. Exactly. Can I mention one more thing before I go, because I know I've taken up a lot of you guys' time.
No, go ahead.
So my fiance and I, we've been together for 12 years, and in our relationship,
fiance.
What you waiting on?
Fiance, 12 years.
Well, better financial situation.
No, sir. No, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look,
But,
we're gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, 25 years over here. Not all great.
No.
You know, none of it is.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, you're not waiting for finance. So I'm gonna let you have that.
I'm gonna let you live. Let them live. I'm gonna let you live on that one.
When me and my wife started, we slept on an air mattress in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, with literally cardboard boxes for chairs and things like that. So,
but go ahead.
Continue.
When we got our house, for example, it was I who gave the landlord the final yes or no, but I didn't do that without consulting her first. I don't make any huge decisions without consulting her first. We are a unit, okay? But a really hot button topic these days is a word that a lot of people are throwing out is patriarchy. So I know you guys were talking about structure and about getting on the same page. However, nowadays, a lot of people, they seek structure, particularly a particular set of women, not all. They see structure as a bad thing because if you tell them it's God first, the man, the woman, the child, they get pissed off because and there's such a vitriol and aggressive and such an angry pushback against something that to us seems so simple, something that makes sense, something that will keep peace and structure. But now it seems like, and unfortunately, a lot of our women are going in this direction where they think that any sort of structure where they have to follow is patriarchy, and it's wrong and it's bad and they're being misused and mistreated, and it's not the case. So how do we even get them off of that mindset that following instruction, following a leader doesn't mean you're being oppressed? Because that seems to be the impression that they get, and they throw the word patriarchy out there like it's such a horrible thing.
Yeah. I can tell you if I don't know your situation, brother, but and I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. But I'm gonna give it to you like this: if the woman you want to be in a relationship doesn't want to participate or play the same game you want to play, whatever that is, right? If you want to be in control and she doesn't want you to be in control, that's a bad lineup, right? Y'all got to be on the same page. So if your lady says, "Hey, I don't want to be oppressed," okay, well then that's probably not the right lady for me, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's how all relationships should work, because the fact that people think relationships are 50-50 to me is foolish, because it's 100-100, right? Both people giving 100%. Exactly. Now, there are going to be some days where you can't give 100, you ain't got 100 to give, and you might need your other person to pick up the pieces. You know, baby, I can only do 70% today. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got the other 130 because I'm on it. But it should never be a battle in a relationship. If the ideology between the two, like if you guys aren't on the same page fundamentally, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I think about structure. If those things, if the foundation isn't right, then the rest of that shit is bound for disaster. Yeah. Right? Because you're gonna constantly be battling, you know. But I agree, you know, there is a group of women, I call them the real housewives of fill in the blank, that unfortunately, I think, this is my opinion, I may get some backlash by it. I think social media and real TV has given women and men a false sense of what a relationship should look like, right? If you think you watch Atlanta Housewives and you think that's what a relationship is, then you're probably best. You're best to be single, right? Because that's not it, right? That is a very, very, very minute group of cross section of what relationships look like. But I can tell you, having been in a relationship for 25 plus years, it's a give and take. There has to be order. Now, who is in that order is up to the relationship. I think that can change based on the relationship, but there has to be an order. There has to be some order. Hey, look, you take the lead on this. I'm gonna take the lead on this. You take the lead on this. I'm gonna take. Like, there has to be a complementing of spirits, because if not, man, you're setting yourself up for a long suffering that is not what we're meant to do. I'll shut up. That's my 3 cents. I went a little over.
There's not a there's nothing in this world that is out of order other than society. In the animal kingdom, there is an order. In actual kingdoms, there's an order. They're in business. There's an order. There's a way that things have to be done. Anything that is supposed to stand the test of time must have order, right? Patriarchy, submission, all these are buzzwords. It's clickbait, right? Because and here's my belief, and my belief is that the man runs the household. Now, somebody gonna take that and run with it. Does that mean that I will rule my house with an iron fist? It does not. My wife is very intelligent. I would be foolish as a leader not to consider what her thoughts were on whichever topic or issue that may arise, and not get some input from her.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the decision is mine, right? Because if my wife made $80,000 a year and I made $60,000 a year, and the lights went off, who my kids gonna look at? Who they gonna say, Daddy? What the?
They ain't talking about. They ain't talking about mama.
Yeah, what's up with these lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Here's the other thing too, because I don't want to come big. First of all, anything I always make, even when we're talking about the condition of the black community, I put the onus on the black man, because I do believe men have to provide order. It's what we do, right? It's why we don't have the luxury of being emotional. I tell my boys, I have 4 boys, I tell them, look, there's going to be some things that's going to happen in life. If you need to cry, right? But if you need to cry, you go in that closet, you cry, you get it all about you. You come out of that closet with a solution and ready to take on whatever the day brings, because you don't have the luxury to sit and sulk in that.
Right.
You have to move, forward with the day. But here's also where I come with the women. I believe, especially black women, to me, black women have a reason to be as guarded as they are. All right? They've been taking care of the household for the last 40, 50 years on their own. And then here, and then, maybe she got, she fell in love, and she, with Johnny gets her pregnant, leaves her, does her dirty, doesn't take care of the child. It's always a fight with him, blah, blah, blah. And then here you come, well-meaning, and all of this kind of stuff. Hey, how you doing? No, it ain't because of you. It's because of what happened before you. You know what I'm saying? But what our problem is as men is that we so sensitive these days, is that we don't know how We don't know how to march through that. Okay, I understand. All right. I'll holler at you tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Anyway, and you go through all of that, so forth and so on when you're courting, right? But at the end of the day, when you choose, you as the man choose to get down on the knee, ask this woman to marry you, and she says yes, then my question to her is, why would you say yes to a man who you don't want to lead you? It doesn't make sense to me. Because if you saying yes to a man who don't want to lead you, then you're saying yes to taking on an extra responsibility that's not yours. Yeah. And that's not what we should be doing. And that's not what she should be doing. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a structure, but it's not what everybody makes it out to be. It's just not this whole just barbaric beating on the chest, grabbing women by the hair, dragging them to caves and all that kind of. It's not
club across the top of the head and all that.
I think that's the impression a lot of women get. They know that they don't realize that it's not that way.
But then it's our reason, it's our place as individuals. Now, when we dealing with this woman individually, then it's our place to say, look, this is what I see that's going to bring success in the marriage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to, first of all, I hope y'all had that discussion before you know what I'm saying, you get married. You understand what roles each person is going to play. And I'm not a person that's going to say a woman got to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have 4 boys and I have 1 girl. And I'm going to tell you something. My baby girl never took trash out. She never bought groceries in the house from the car. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that's the way it's supposed to go, baby. You shouldn't be taking no trash out, and you shouldn't have to worry. You shouldn't go get the groceries and then have to bring them in the house when you get it. No, that's not how it works. If you're on the road and your tire busts, I don't care if you can change the tire. You call somebody and we will come out there and make sure that we take care of that for you. You call daddy first. If daddy can't, you got 4 brothers. You can make 4 other phone calls to have somebody come out there and make sure that we take care of you, because that's what we're supposed to do as men. And that is practice for when they become husbands and wife. You see what I'm saying? But we can't make it seem as barbaric as what these people on social media want us to make it seem. We have to make it seem like reality of what it really is.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, man, part of that is, our job is to lessen the burden, fill in the blank everybody else. Right? That's our job. Mm-hmm. My job is to lessen the burden of my wife, of my kids, my boys, my son, my girls, whoever. Right? That's my job. Mm-hmm. It's a servant leadership role that we have. Right? And part of, I think, what happens sometimes, our women don't understand that we're here to help. We're not here to oppress or tell you. I don't want to tell nobody what to do. I do that at my job all day. Like, I don't want to come home and tell people what to do, right? But I do want to lighten your load a little bit. Let me deal with that. Let me, and I think sometimes that's how you have to present it, because they feel as if you're taking power away from them and holding on to the power. But it's not about you taking the power from them. It's let me do this. Let me handle this, right? Because I guarantee you, if somebody kick in the door at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, we ain't gonna be talking about no equality then.
Right.
For real,
right? Yeah. All that shit go out the, go out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tapping on your leg. Did you not hear that?
Uh-huh.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to take that responsibility. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be the first one through the door. Right? I'm going to see what's happening. Right? Because I'm willing to risk my life for you, but in return, I need you to at least understand this is the order in which we do things in the house, right?
Right.
If somebody's got to take a bullet, I don't want to, but that's me. That's on me. I signed up for that. Right. And I promise you, when your fiance accepted your proposal, she understood that if something happens, he's going to be the first to get it. Right. So with that being said, it's not too much to ask or to say, hey, I'm willing to do these things to protect our family. I need you to do these things to protect our sanity and to protect this relationship. And if that means I need you to be a little more understanding, I need you to take a back seat on this, right? Present it however, but it's the same outcome, right? Say it however you need to, that's something you got to learn. You got to navigate that yourself. But ultimately, you keep the main thing. The main thing is, how do we have order and peace in this house, right? And how you arrive at that, I think it's something that's is very specialized and unique to every relationship.
Oh yeah, indeed, I agree.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's really good to hear you say that.
Hey man, look, it's really good to have this conversation. And I appreciate both of y'all, for coming on, joining me today to have this conversation. It was fruitful, it was insightful, and I really enjoyed it, man. But it's about that time.
Yeah, bro.
Let's get on out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Rock, man, you got anything coming out? Anything you want to shout out to people, let them know about?
I got a couple things in the works, man. But I will be back. This is not this ain't a one-time deal, man. We've known each other. I'm sitting here thinking, God dang, when did I get to Jayville, man? 95, 96. So
95.
We've been kicking it for a long time, man. And we're definitely gonna run it back.
No doubt,
shit is on it's on repeat.
Oh yeah, indeed. So you know what I'm saying? Anytime, you know what I mean? You just let me know. Hey man, send me the link. And we on like popcorn, you hear me?
So,
hey, Mr. B, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I didn't let everybody know, Mr. B came on because he was in my comment section acting crazy. So I'm thinking I invited. No, I was just playing. He wasn't acting crazy, but he was in the comment section. I invited him on. He came on. I appreciate you. Accepting my my invite. To come on. It also lets you know that I am in my inbox. You know what I'm saying? I am looking at my comments. So, if y'all got some comments, go ahead. Let me know what those comments are, man. And I will definitely be interacting, man. But I'm going ahead, man. I'm signing off until the next week, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'll see y'all there, man. Peace.
Thank you.